Alright, what's going on everyone? Of course, this is In the Hot Seat. Of course, I got a brand new episode for you guys. I got a returning guest, and my boy, that's right, the Lexman, was able to come on in and join us this week. And of course, this was taped right before TNA Genesis 2012, of course. Some of the things will probably change since this was taped right before Raw. And hopefully you guys will be able to enjoy. Nonetheless, we talk about, of course, Daniel Bryan and what are our thoughts on this heel turn, if it is indeed going to happen, and as well a couple of other things going into the Rumble, and as well a couple of other possible return, and as well as a return that we had not too long ago. So with that being said, this is an audio commentary style for In the Hot Seat. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Be sure to leave a like and a comment, and as well feel free to leave a video sponsor or all three. Until then, roll my intro.
It is the most interactive professional wrestling discussion show on the internet. WWE, Ring of Honor, Impact Wrestling. This is In the Hot Seat with your host, Fortminorproject.
Alright, what's going on guys, and welcome to this week's episode for In the Hot Seat. And of course, as always, I got a great show lined up for you guys, and as well being joined by my guest at this time. And what's going on?
What's going on, YouTubers? It's your boy, Deluxe Man, doing it once again with my boy, Fortminorproject. It's been a while. I figured I'd bring him up here, and figured he'd bring me up here to do this little interview, and talk about what's going on in wrestling right now, man. This is gonna be cool.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you back on the show, and of course, we got a couple of topics to be talking about, and I think I'm going to start things off right here, and that is going on as we've been seeing this past Friday night on SmackDown, and with this, with Daniel Bryan, looks to be, as of right now, turning as a heel, and what do you think of this, and do you think it's worth it as of right now?
Well, I want to do a little discussion with you real quick, Fortminor, if you don't mind.
Sure.
As for Daniel Bryan's heel turn, based off of what's going on SmackDown, I see they're testing the waters with both Daniel Bryan and Big Show. A few weeks ago, they did some kind of a thing to hint that Big Show was turning heel. Now they're doing something with Daniel Bryan. If they are going with Daniel Bryan turning heel on SmackDown, honestly, it wouldn't hurt me at all. I think what they're doing with Daniel Bryan is actually pretty cool, and they're turning him heel, in my opinion, the right way. They're not making him some kind of a cheap, chicken shit heel that's just being a coward, and not, wrestling in the matches just running away. No, he's actually standing up to Big Show, standing up to Mark Henry, but he's being opportunistic. You know what I'm saying? How he won his match on SmackDown was actually pretty fucking cool. He went up to Mark Henry, taunted him to his face, got himself pushed. But, it wasn't like he planned. Well, I can't say he planned it. If it was, it's still a pretty cool way to win the match. Because, after he got pushed down, he went to the referee. Dude, what you gonna do? I just got pushed down with Mark Henry. You just gonna sit there and do nothing? He's like, right, fuck. He pushed him down. Sorry, disqualification. And Daniel Bryan just ran up the stage like, I'm still world champion. Yeah. And, it's stuff like that that just, in my opinion, makes that championship more prestigious because we got people doing everything to make sure he walks out as world champion, like Daniel Bryan did. It just makes the championship look a lot more important, and it's been a while since we had something like that. And it's kind of reminiscent of how Daniel Bryan used to be in ROH. He wasn't like a chicken shit, but he was always an opportunist. He was cunning with what he did, always looking for ways to pick up the victory. And that was cool to see what they did with him on SmackDown. So, in my opinion, if this is what we can expect from Daniel Bryan in the upcoming future, I wouldn't be mad at it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and to me, it came off to a bit as a surprise to me. I actually thought they were going to turn Big Show heel and then have him and Daniel Bryan work that feud going into probably the Royal Rumble and so on, going into WrestleMania, what have you. And yeah, it came to a bit of a shock, so I am looking forward to see what they're going to do next. Don't really have a problem with it. Of course, I'm a Daniel Bryan fan too myself, so it's definitely something new, and I think it will actually work for Daniel Bryan, so we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen next when it comes to that. And is there anything else you want to add before we go into the next topic?
At the end of it, man, they're keeping him Daniel Bryan. He's still a vegan. He's still who he was before he turned heel. He's just a douchebag now. So he's still a guy that I can relate to and everything like that. He just has more of a chip on his shoulder about his wrestling ability. So that's all I got to say about it, man.
Alright, and as we move along into the next topic, and as Chris Jericho, of course, he made his return this past Monday on Raw and really didn't say anything. And what are your thoughts on Chris Jericho? Do you think he's a heel or a face, and what's going to happen next? Why do you think he's actually here for? And Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, man, overall, my thoughts on Chris Jericho returning on Raw. Initially, I was confused, like everybody else. You had this guy, get this build up for his return, and he comes back, and it's like, Chris Jericho, awesome!
Mm,
I wanted it to be Chris Jericho, and it was Chris Jericho. He came back and, did what he did. He came out, started pandering to the audience, and for the first 5 minutes, we were like, okay, yes, Chris Jericho's back. And then afterwards, he just kept doing it, and it just got more over-exaggerated, and I started to realize that, okay, something's not right with this picture. What's going on? He's about to do something. And then he just walks out. And I'm just left going, what the fuck was that?
mm-hmm.
Initially, I didn't know what to think. But as I, went back over it a second time, I then realized, what he was doing. It was one of those things where it was like, some of my friends, some of the people here on YouTube call it the best heel turn. I call it the best heel return because
Okay.
remember, Chris Jericho was a heel before he left, calling us hypocrites and parasites.
Yep.
And when he came back that one little split second, we completely forgot that. Okay, he was a heel, but it's Chris Jericho. He's back, awesome. And then when he left, it just made us go, oh crap, we just got fucking played, man. This
Yeah.
guy just came in, made us cheer for him, pandered to us. We just ate it up and just left us on a high note. Like, it's like going to a party, drinking some kind of spiked drink. Like, you was drinking like the spiked drink that everybody got into. We all had a good time. By the
Yeah.
time the party was over with, we came to our senses and we was all like, oh crap, what the fuck just happened? And then we realized what we just went through, and we just feel sorry for ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for me, as far as the return goes, I think it was well worth it to me in the end. And Chris Jericho exactly got what he wanted and had the fan reaction. And to me, as of right now, it looks like Chris Jericho is still a heel at this point. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen within the next coming weeks going into the Royal Rumble. What are his plans going into WrestleMania? Or even if he's going to show up at all and do anything, he'll probably is actually here for the World Heavyweight Championship, maybe have a feud with CM Punk, face a couple of other guys, and maybe have a return match with Randy Orton, since I believe Randy Orton was the guy that actually took him out, so we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen with that. And yeah, is there anything else you want to add before we go on to the next topic with that one as well?
Yeah, man, I can't wait because apparently there's more to the story. He
Oh, yeah.
didn't just do this because, hey, it all ties back into one of his cryptic promos, the one profitless, blindly following somebody without knowing what they're all about. Yeah, Chris Jericho did that to us on Monday, so let's see what he has for us tomorrow for Monday Night Raw. So that's all I gotta say.
Alright, so we move along into one of the final topics here, and that is Brock Lesnar. Of course, he made his retirement at UFC 141, and what are your thoughts? Do you think Brock Lesnar is going to come home to the WWE and have his final run there, or do you see him doing something else following his retirement at UFC 141?
I mean, it would be cool to see Brock Lesnar come in and do one more match. I don't expect it to be against Taker like a lot of people do. Sorry, kids, not gonna happen. Brock Lesnar has been gone for a while, about the same length as The Rock. So I don't really expect them to really just come in and have a match with Taker and, have like a big blow off match. If he does come in, it'll be like a one off thing against like probably Santino Marella at WrestleMania just to see him dominate him.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I would like to see him come back, but I guarantee you if he does, it's gonna be a one-off thing. It's not gonna be like a big return, like one last big return for Brock Lesnar, because honestly, his time has passed. I think Brock Lesnar's WWE run has pretty much run out. 2004 was his last run. I don't think he has anything left in him. He could probably still go, but his time in wrestling to me is run out. I don't really see him being in wrestling anytime soon or coming back for a full run. I don't know what he's gonna do for his life. I do wish him the best in whatever he chooses to do. But as for wrestling, don't know, man. I really don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't really followed him all that much in the UFC. Don't really watch UFC all that much. Not a UFC fan. Honestly, this whole little spiel between UFC and wrestling, UFC is real and wrestling's fake. You're supposed to watch UFC because it's real. And real men watch UFC. No kids. Wrestling is just as entertaining as UFC. It doesn't make you less of a man to watch wrestling. than UFC. Not saying UFC is a bad sport or anything like that. UFC,
Mm-hmm.
you like UFC, you like your UFC. Me personally, I prefer wrestling over UFC. But getting back to the point of Brock Lesnar, Lesnar to me, it's sad that he had to retire. If he does come back to wrestle for WWE, I'll be all for it. I just don't expect it to be like one last big return. I think it would be a one-off deal, and that'll be it.
Yeah, to me, with that, I actually like both companies, so I support both of them equally. So no really differences between the two. So I have seen some of Brock Lesnar's fights, and I have liked what I saw from him, from what I saw anyway. However, I do think Brock Lesnar will eventually come back, maybe around the summer or something like that, but that's really entirely up to him. But with the report that, as I was doing the TNA Genesis pay-per-view pre-show, that Brock Lesnar is looking to probably go into boxing as of right now. Not really sure if that's true or not, but we'll have to wait and see. So it is really entirely up to him to see what he's going to do next. So, of course, I do wish him the luck, and maybe we'll get to see him come back into the WWE. So, is there any final thoughts that you want to add to that?
Yeah, I want to take the microphone here and ask you some questions.
All right.
It's about, my boy Daniel Bryan. Of course, I am the biggest Daniel Bryan fan on here. You will not see a bigger fan for Daniel Bryan than me. Hopefully not. That's sane, at least. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, it's about Daniel Bryan on SmackDown. How do you think he's doing as world champion? I see a lot of people saying he's overrated. I see a lot of people saying that Daniel Bryan shouldn't have been world champion. He should have got a better build-up. But, Fort Minor here, he's in my opinion, what I like to call a real wrestling fan. He's not one of these internet fans that's, will get behind somebody, then he becomes world champion, screw him, I'm going to move on to somebody else. No, he supports them when he gets there. And he's a constant supporter. He really respects the wrestling business. So, let me get your thoughts on that. What do you think about Daniel Bryan as world champion?
Yeah, I think it's great that Daniel Bryan is a world champion. Of course, I don't like to really have change of opinion once that someone wins the championship like Mickey James. I really haven't, turned her back or anything like that, since I don't really feel the need to do that, and I feel like I would be stabbing her back or anything. So I do like Daniel Bryan, and I think he's doing good with the World Heavyweight Championship. And now that he's supposed to be having his heel turn, it should be something definitely new, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next with that. So, of course, I'm still supporting Daniel Bryan, and as well CM Punk too. I think they're both doing a good job as being both world champions, so I like what they're doing as of right now.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. It's also kind of surprising to me that we have two wrestling world champions right
Yeah,
now
exactly.
in the top company in WWE. That's fucking amazing. And what bothers me about this is there are some internet fans that are still bitching, that are still complaining. I'm like, you've been wanting this. You've wanted CM Punk and Daniel Bryan for years. You get it, but you still find a way to bitch, moan, and complain. I get it. WWE is not the best company when it comes to writing. Oh, trust me, I know that. This is the same company that has written 7 to 8 scripts on the day of Raw. I understand that. But at the same time, guys, when you get the people that you've been pushing for to be world champions, and they're world champions actually, you don't stop supporting them. That's not how it goes.
No,
You're
you
supposed to
keep
get
supporting
behind.
him.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Daniel Bryan, in my opinion, is doing a good job on SmackDown. No, he didn't get the right proper build-up to become a world champion, but he's making up for it right now with his championship run. Get behind the guy. Watch him on SmackDown. Give him your support. I think he will show all wrestling fans what it's like to be a real world champion, because DB is going to wreck shop. Trust me, trust me. All the doubters that DB has right now will soon be believers. I know that for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and definitely, he's definitely so far making a believer out of me, and he's doing really good so far. So, we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen next. All right, getting into the last topic that I have here, and that's going into the Royal Rumble. And we haven't really seen this. I want to say probably the last 2 Royal Rumbles, something like that. And do you think there should be a Royal Rumble qualifying match going into this year's Royal Rumble?
It would be great. It would give some necessary build-up for the Royal Rumble, which it desperately needs. It makes it feel like more of a Big Four instead of just a pay-per-view that just happened to come. And honestly, if I had to pick, because about a month ago, if you was to ask me who would win the Royal Rumble, I would have told you Dolph Ziggler. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have no idea who's gonna win it this year. I'm usually able to tell, okay, this guy's definitely gonna win. Like last year, I saw Del Rio win the Royal Rumble. like a month before I could tell he was gonna win it. I had a good idea that he was gonna win it. This year it was Dolph Ziggler, and now that he's gonna have a world championship at Royal Rumble, I'm down to like honestly one person. That person honestly would be Chris Jericho. Some people might actually say Sheamus, some might say Wade Barrett.
Mm.
As of right now, I just see Chris Jericho being that guy to win that Royal Rumble.
Yeah, to me, I think it would be cool. I'm not too sure if he's medically cleared or not, but hopefully, depending on what's the status with Christian, I think that would be pretty cool to have him come back, go into the Royal Rumble, and actually win it, since he didn't actually never won the Royal Rumble, and hopefully we will have that Royal Rumble win at WrestleMania, since we didn't get to see that with Del Rio, and I believe the past Royal Rumble winner after that, so I think that would be good to have that as well. If not, my other pick will probably have to be, as of right now, if Christian does not come back, maybe Wade Barrett, but I'll get to that later on as my Royal Rumble pay-per-view predictions gets closer with that. So, as far as for the qualifying matches, I think that's good. It shows that someone actually wants to be a part of the Royal Rumble and wants to go on into having either the WrestleMania debut and what have you. So I think they should hopefully, at least within the next few weeks, bring that back. So, that's basically it when it comes to all the topics. Is there anything else you want to add to the Royal Rumble or anything else that we touched bases on today?
I do like the idea of having qualifying matches. That is important. But
Yeah.
I also like back then in 2004, 2005 when they did those draws. You know, you would it was actually on the day of Royal Rumble. You would have these segments when they would spin one of those things with all the balls in them, and then they would pick a ball randomly, get your number, and you know the reactions on their faces to see. That's the type of stuff that I miss from WWE. And I wish they would do something like that to make the Royal Rumble seem more important. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, that's all I got to say.
All right, well, it's been a real pleasure having you back here on the show. Is there any shout-outs that you would like to give before we officially end it here?
Of course, guys. First off, if this is your first time seeing me, please subscribe to your boy, Delex, man. Follow me on my Twitter. Subscribe to my second channel. And as always, please go sub to the Four Horsemen. That is the group that I am in right now. That is Beer Money 2K and Eonizzle. Giving a shout out to both of those people. Great YouTubers, just like Fortminorproject here. Have a great mind for wrestling, and they're wrestling fans. They actually appreciate and enjoy the product, unlike other people here on the internet. Not gonna call them out, but I'm just making a statement. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but other than that, guys, I appreciate you for having me here on Fortminorproject, and
No problem.
hopefully we get to do this again, man. This is fun. I like doing this discussion with you on this show. I like talking about wrestling. That's why I'm here on YouTube.
Yeah, you're definitely welcome back anytime. Of course, I will leave the links down there below in the description box for everyone to check out. And that about does it for this week's episode for In the Hot Seat. Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, or a video response, or all three, whichever you feel like doing. And that about does it for this week. Until then, I'll see you guys for next week for In the Hot